Hello, everyone. Welcome. It is Thursday again, and it is not just Thursday, it is Thanksgiving Thursday right here on the Question Live Show with yours truly, your host, Verona Willis-Brown. That is me. Yes, so tonight we are going to roll into the culture. We are going to roll. We're going to take it up there, down there. We're going to take it in a lot of levels tonight. So, if this is your first time tuning in, whether you're on YouTube or on Facebook, welcome, 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 welcome. And if this is not your first time tuning in, welcome back. Welcome back. I see Cheryl. Cheryl, welcome back to this episode of the Question Live Show. Today we are going to talk about Black people. Absolutely. But before we dive into all of that Black people talk, we got house rules here. We do have rules here. So for first timers, maybe 1, 2, 3 rules, or maybe 4. Now, first rule is, we call them house rule, okay? First one is, if you're looking up there, if you're watching this right now and you're seeing that word that says live, simple mean you're in the live audience. That's on Facebook. If you're on YouTube, then of course you should say live somewhere. You're in the live audience with us. So welcome to the live audience. 2, have yourself a pen or pencil or crayon and a notebook or a sticky pad or something to write. Write. Yes, I said to write because here we drop juicy contents and golden nuggets. So I would like to educate you into things, and sometimes I go fast, sometimes my guests go fast, but guess what? We still drop those juicy contents and golden nuggets. So I want you to take notes of those things. And if you don't have a pen and you don't have a notebook, please, your devices do have a notepad somewhere. Somewhere in your devices, there's a notepad. So right in there. Now, number 4 is very, very easy. I would like you to get something to drink. I don't know what is it that you drink. Maybe it is water, maybe it is wine, maybe it is tea, maybe it is soda, maybe it is juice. I don't know what you drink, but for me, I know what I drink. I drink coconut water. Yes, I do. So I have my drink ready. And the reason why I say for you to drink something, because I want you to be hydrated. And then I want you to drink on behalf of me because I will be talking. And sometimes I can't stop to quench my thirst. So I need for you to do me that little favor and just drink something on behalf of myself, right? So that's 3 rules. And let me throw number 4 in there. Number 4 is very, very easy. Share. Share this live and invite someone to come into the audience with us. We are not selfish people. We should share. Sharing is caring, they say. But that's not cliche. Sharing is a part of your purpose. So I ask you to share this live and let us come on in and inspire, impact, empower, and educate each other. So as you can see, I'm doing a lot of talking right here. I have my guests waiting to get on. So while I lay out all those rules, I'm going to say, if you are ready, then I am ready. And I know my guest is ready. So if you're ready, type it in the chat that you are ready so we can roll the ball and get into tonight's episode of The Question Live Show with yours truly, Verona Willis-Brown. Type it in the chat. Let me know that you are ready. So in the meantime, sip, sip, sip. Let us sip on whatever we're drinking. So tonight we are going to be meeting our guests, my brother. So while I stop talking, without further ado, let me bring on my guest for tonight. There he is, Dr. Murphy, my brother. Welcome to the Question Live Show.
I'm glad to be here, Veronica, and I'm here to share some nuggets with you
All right,
and everyone.
we drop nuggets here on this show, and we drop
Yes,
juicy content, so we serve the people here. Yeah, so
well, I'm
I
here to share
always,
with you.
yeah, so my very first question, of course, the show is called The Question. So I'd like to throw my very, very first question to you. And my first question is always, how are you doing? Truthfully.
I am doing great. I am just wonderful today, and I'm here
Yay!
visiting with you.
There we go. And you know what? The key word right there is today. That's the key word right there. Today, I am doing great today. I like to hear that at the end of my answers. Right there, today. Because today is what we are going to focus on. Today. So I like to hear that at the ending. Today. And even if it's in the
Today.
beginning, I like to hear it too. Today, I'm doing great. So, Dr. Murphy, my brother, yes. Please tell us where you're tuning in from and give us a little snippet of who you are.
As you mentioned, my name is Murphy Moultry, and I've written and self-published 2 books. One book is called Because We're Black, and that tells the history of why Black Americans have less wealth. We're 13% of the population, but we have only 3% of Americans' wealth. So, in this particular book, I tell people, give them factual information, and why we have less wealth than our population would permit us to. My other book is called Reparation. When I talk about our lack of wealth, then I also need to provide people with a solution. So my second book, Reparation, is the answer to our question about how wealth inequality can be equalized. I, if you have a look at my first book, and I think Veronica, you have a copy of it, there is a picture on the front, and that picture is my extended family, my grandparents, my mother, my father, and myself. And my parents are sharecroppers. So I know what I'm talking about because I've lived the experience. I was born in 1945 in Alabama, and I am now, of course, 76 years of age, and I'm living in Peoria, Arizona. And I spent most of my career in the education profession. So, is there some other things you'd like to know, Veronica? Verona?
Well, guess what? That is just the tip of the iceberg. So I'm going to take that because we can't feed them everything all at once, right? We can't just give them we just can't pile onto them. And the book that we are talking about, we are going to be going into both books. So this is the very first book
Yes,
because we are black. And you just
and
mentioned that that's your family on the cover.
that's correct.
And we
The
are
uh,
younger.
the, the
Look,
little
I should have a marker to find you right there.
the little baby crying in front of his mother. That's me.
So, ladies and gentlemen, let's find the baby Murphy again. And that's the baby right there. So if you can look real
Right.
close, I think this is the baby right here.
That's the baby.
So
And
that's very
beside
that's
me is my grandmother, and then my grandfather, and they were sharecroppers in Alabama.
Wow. Wow. So
Standing
that's David.
behind me,
Uh-huh.
yes, and standing behind me is my mother and father, and to my left is my brother.
Okay, so here we go. So the brother is right here. No, yes.
The
Can you see
lady in
this?
the white dress, standing
Right
behind me,
here
is
is
my
your
mother.
your mother is right here.
Yes. The lady to my right, sitting down, is my grandmother.
All right.
And then her son, and next to lean on his knee, is my grandfather.
Right here.
Yes.
Okay.
And he and his wife had 12 children, 8 boys, 4 girls.
Wow.
And they were sharecroppers in Alabama. And of course,
Wow.
with the Great Migration, his children left Alabama, got jobs in various places, and sent money back to buy him out of sharecropping.
So audience, if this is your first time, you're gonna see me keep on putting my head down because of course I told you to have your pencil or your pen, whatever tools you're having. Because if you're gonna see me do like this, I'm writing my golden nuggets. I'm writing my things down. So I don't told you to get yourself ready and have yourself to write things down. Cause that was Baby Murphy, and now Baby Murphy is all grown up, being 76 chapters. God bless you.
Thank you.
God bless you.
And I have truly been blessed. I can say that I have truly been blessed throughout my life.
Oh my God. Listen, a lot of people are not living past 7.
That's correct.
So for you to make it into your 76 chapters, I want to personally celebrate you on those chapters that you have turned to be here with me in this opportunity, in this setting, 76. Wow.
Yes.
Woo. So on that cover book, and you mentioned that's your family. So what gave you that deep unction, that deep drive, that deep something that says you need to write about slavery and racism in a different view? Because you
As I
mentioned
mentioned,
that's in the same view.
I spent most of my life in education, and I realized that most people do not have a good understanding or knowledge of Black history. What people have is opinions and emotions and things that's been passed down from one person to the next, and it's not always accurate. So I
Mm.
had a need to start the conversation with giving people facts, research facts about history. And so that is what propelled me to write these 2 books.
Wow.
I wanted people to know, and I wanted people to talk with intelligence.
Not just what they hear or what they read on the TV or somebody told them.
Or from emotions.
Or from emotions.
I
So you
wanted them
mentioned
to
that
be
from
able to
opinions and
quote
emotions.
facts. That's
And
correct.
apparently you are writing real fast because that's your family on the cover. So you have something coming trailing from your family background coming. So you have something solid to present to the world.
That's correct.
Mm. So again, audience, if you're listening and if you do have questions for Dr. Murphy, please by all means drop it in the chat. We are going to address your question as we go along. Comments you have, drop them in the chat so we can go along with those. You see, oftentimes we do this. Oftentimes we make decisions based on emotions. And oftentimes we make decisions based on opinions of others. You see, others' opinion of us. Let us do things and let us say things and all these things. So, what do you have to say to someone right now who who is making a decision based on what somebody else's opinion of them is.
I'm not sure I understood your question.
Someone is making a decision this very moment, right now. And that decision that they're making is because of the perception of somebody else, the opinion of somebody else towards them. Because oftentimes we do this. Oftentimes we make decisions based on somebody else's opinion of us.
Yes.
So what would you say to that person right now who is making a decision based on somebody else's opinion of them?
I would say to that person, based on the fact that most of the things that we know about individuals or other people are based on their race. And what I would say to the individual is that race is a social construct. It was constructed by human beings. It has nothing to do with your physical or spiritual being. All human beings are, in fact, the same. So, therefore, you are no less nor greater than every other human being upon this earth. And you need to be aware of that.
Mm. There you go, people. There goes some golden nuggets dropping right there. Social construct. That one right there. So again, here we go. I like that. I really like that. And for those of you who are listening, that one right there, that one is a good one because I've never heard that one before. So I like when I have these show and these discussions because the more I live, the more I learn. That might sound cliche, but it's true. And you're supposed to live and learn. So now,
Yes.
how many years were you in education? In were you a professor in education in school?
Yes,
How
I was a
many years
teacher
did you
for
spend
three
in that?
years. I was a teacher for 3 years. I was administrator for 30 years, and I was a adjunct professor for 2 years. So I spent a total of about 39 years in education, being a professional educator. I was also a part-time special education consultant.
Wow.
So I worked with all levels. I was a middle school administrator for 27 years.
Wow. More reason for me to celebrate you now. So now you keep on adding stuff for me to celebrate you even more. So listen, people, 76 chapter is not just a plain old 76 chapter. My brother right here got some stuff up his belt. And we do need educators out here.
Yes.
Okay. You mentioned the fundamental reason white power's broker feels it's necessary to keep as many black people disenfranchised financially. What are the two things?
There's a couple, most people would say that an individual was racist. For me, that's an incomplete explanation. I want to know why an individual would do the kinds of things they do to another group of individuals. As I researched that, I determined that there were two primary causes. One had to do with greed. There is within all of us the perception that we do not have enough resources to go around for everyone. And so I want to get as much as I possibly can for me and my tribe. So I'm out to gather everything I can for me, which may mean that you have less for you. Now, part of my process in terms of doing that is to make you feel inferior and to feel that I have a need or I have a right to have extra where you have none. So between my greed and my culture is the reason why I act the way I do. And what I've been able to do is go back into history and show why white Americans have been greedy and culturally working to deprive Africans and Black Americans of their equal share of the resources that God has given to this world.
And the thing about it, God created all of us equal.
Yes.
Whatever provision God made before we got here is for everyone. Every
Yes.
last one of us got access to it. Every last one of us. No one person got more access when we got created because it was already presented to us. So we all got access to what God already
Yes. We should
provided.
have.
And that's why we are one. We are not by color, and we should not even be served by the color of our skin. We should not be deprived by the color of our skin. We should be serviced by the color of our blood, because that is what defines us. That is saying that we all came from one source. And that one source is saying we're equal. So no one should be greedy to have that much power over a set of people. We got to stop this greediness. We got to stop this. We got to stop being selfish, and we got to stop being greedy. Whatever we have, our purpose here collectively is to serve each other. To serve each
Yes.
other, not to take out of my mouth, not to take bread from my family, to build bread for your family. Because what will happen here, Dr. Murphy, when you take from my mouth and try to build on yours, you have excess. So you deprive me of something while you have excess amount. Now, if you have excess amount, how much of that excess can you utilize? How much?
And that is exactly what happened. And in order to make that happen,
Yeah.
and for me, the taker, to feel good about it, I said, or my culture said, that you were not a human being. We went even so far, or the white culture went so far as to say that God did not create the Black people in the same sense that he created white people.
Well,
Which justified my taking food out of your mouth and putting it in mine.
and I just made the statement that we were all created equal.
And we were all created equal.
God didn't create to say,
And if there's abundance of resources,
with abundance, keyword, abundance.
abundance.
So God did not say, oh, because you're white, I'm going to give you this amount, or you're Black, I'm going to give you this amount. God did not separate that resource.
No.
He sure didn't. So who gave that right to one set of people to believe that they should be that greedy? You see, greed is everywhere. Greed is
But it
everywhere.
doesn't have to be.
And I was about to say, but thank you very much. Yeah. Greed is everywhere, but why? Why? Because somebody want to think that they have power? Because you see, greed develop into you think that you have excess amount of power. But your power can just crumble in 2 seconds. Because the only person that's more powerful is God. So all he's saying, stop being greedy. If you think about this, if you think
Yes.
about the analogy of food, and if you're in a family, because I could show the picture again with your entire family, and you mentioned somewhere that your grandfather had 12 children, right?
Yes.
So 12 children,
Yes.
and I'm going to use your story, Dr. Murphy. I'm going to use your story because he had 12 children, and somewhere in that family, They all had to get fed.
Yes.
Now, if one son or one daughter out of those 12 were greedy, just think about this, greedy, daddy said, guess what? I don't care. I'm going to eat everybody's food. That food is served, but I'm going to eat everybody's food. Now, how would they label that one child? How would they have labeled that one child?
In the family, they would say that child was greedy.
And I wonder why that child think that he needed to have that thought of being greedy of taking everybody's food. So these things are just like they're there. So why would he think that I have my plate? He look over and his sibling got the same amount of food on their plate. Same amount of food. And he decide, hey, let me take something from my siblings. But see, collectively, we are doing this. Individually, we are doing this. Family, our biological family, we are doing this. And cultural, we are doing this. Now, how
Yes.
can this stop? How can we stop this?
We can stop this by doing exactly what you're doing, and that is talking to people, educating people, dropping nuggets on people so that they understand that they are equal to everyone else and they have a right to the same resources that everyone else has. They are neither lazy, stupid, or any other kind of thing of those labels that's been placed on us to say that you are less than and deserve less than other people.
And there we have it.
But there's a lot of us who believe, who have bought into that belief that I do not deserve what other people may have. I am not worthy. And so, therefore, we allow other people to take from us.
So we're going to put a pin right there. We're going to put a pen, whatever we're going to put. We're going to put a pause right in that statement, because I want to address this in a way where mindset is very mindset. Let's talk about mindset. So I'm going to put a pause right there. Audience, mindset matters. Your mindset is, you see, I have a thing where if you think that you're in poverty, you cannot get up, because that's where you focus on. And mindset is, I know you're a professor and you probably retired from professor, but I like to turn things around. So I like to look at mindset in the opposite side, like how you set your mind on something. How you set your mind on something. So if you set your mind that you are enough, if you set your mind that I deserve, if you set your mind and say, I am equal, if you set your mind on that, no one can take that away from you. No one. I learned this very early from my father that says education is something no one can take away from you. They could try to rip your skin off, but they can't take your education. So we're here telling you, educate yourself into this. That whatever you set your mind on, that is it. And wherever you pour your energy on, that will grow. It will grow. So if you set yourself and say, oh, I don't deserve to have the biggest house, or I don't deserve to have this much wealth. I don't deserve that because they said. Now, what does God say? What does God say? God said He will provide for you. So why am I thinking about what you say? At the end of the day, is what God says. At the end of the day, everything boils down to what God says about me. Because God didn't tell me that I was black. God told me I'm a child of the King. So he never told me I was black. He said, you are my child. So if he's my child, guess what's going to happen? He's going to provide for me. So I must know what I'm setting my mind on to tell God, hey, I deserve to have this. Yeah.
Verona, did you just say, and I want to get this clear, did you just say that God is black?
No, I didn't.
Oh,
I
okay.
sure didn't. I said he never told me I was black.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Oh no. God got no color. He can't define
Okay.
color because the color, if I want to give God a color, I wouldn't give him black. If I want to give God a color, I would give him red because red is the power of knowledge and wisdom and understanding. And red is what defined us as spirit being, human beings, his being. So I wouldn't put him as black, but he never told me I was black.
Okay. Okay. Can you, would you be able to give me a description of Jesus Christ?
Me. Me. I'm in his image.
Me.
Yes,
You're in
Verona.
his image.
Verona is the answer to that because guess what? I was created in his image. So I can speak only for myself because I was created in his image. So we all got to answer
Very good
in.
answer. Very good answer. I
Yeah.
applaud you.
I can't look at nobody else in any way. I have to speak for myself. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Yeah. So what is it that you expect your readers to take away from this book? What you want your readers to see? Because not to even to read, because we want to see something. I don't want to read it. What is it that you expect your readers to see and take away from each page of your book?
I want my readers to fully understand that we're all human beings and equal, and we should have the right and the opportunity to be the very best that we can be. And that we've operated, especially Black Americans, under a false system, and that we have come a long way, and that we are to be proud of our achievements.
Very much so. Listen, you made it to 76th chapter, Dr. Murphy. You made it to 76th chapter. So, of course, I know you gave yourself some permission to achieve something. And that is
Yes.
where I want the audience and those who will watch this on replay. Audience, I want you to get this that you must give yourself permission to be free. You must give yourself permission to achieve. You must give yourself permission to say, I am enough. You must give yourself permission to say, I deserve just what the other person acquired. You must give yourself
Yes.
permission because if you don't give yourself permission, who will? Who will?
And that's why I wrote the book, so that you will know that you have the right to be what you want to be, and you have the right to give yourself permission to achieve.
Yes, audience, if you're not sipping your water, wine, tea, whatever you're sipping right, you might want to do that just now. You might want to do that just now because I'm telling you, I'm not even sipping mine right now, but somebody needs to sip for me. Yep, somebody needs to take a taste. I don't know what you're drinking, but somebody needs to take a taste for me because I'm not even going to sip mine. So, yeah. Because this right here is education. We got a professor right here educating us. So listen, I like to be in the classroom because I like to learn. I like to learn. And I like to go by factual things. So I like to learn. Audience, if you do have a question, drop it in there. I mentioned that earlier. But I like to learn. You see, each moment, and I'm going to say it a third time, each moment, our eyes pop open. It's a moment to learn.
I agree.
Each moment. And each day that we get, because now you see I move from a moment to a day, each day that we get, we all have the same amount of time. If we are calculating in human time, 24 hours, we all got the same amount of time. And each time was not given to us because we planned something or because I planned to be here today, why I got it. No, God gave it to me because He's saying, listen, you need to step up a little bit more than yesterday. So He gave me an extra opportunity today. Just like He gave everybody else who's breathing right now. Just like He gave everybody else who's hearing my voice right now. Just like He gave everybody else who is watching this right now. Everybody got the same grace to create something this time. Everybody.
Yes.
Today.
So one of the things I did was to realize that people have lots of things to do with their time. So I took my time to write these two books and put this information in two places so that you can have that information in a short period of time. It's concise, it's accurate, it's well researched, and it just takes you a little time to
Yeah.
learn all those things that it took me years to learn.
Imagine. Just imagine all those years you were in education, and I mean, you're still educating us. So, guess what? That's not going anywhere. Until your chapters are closed, it's still going to go with us because your work is
Yeah.
out there. So, it's still going to go there. You're still educating us. You're still an educator. So, even if you retire, we're still not going to take that
Yes,
from you. We can't take that from you.
that
So,
is true.
you serve 20 whatever years you serve in the classroom or all of that, you are still walking around educating us.
That is my goal. And my
Yeah.
mother, who was unable to go to school, one of the things she constantly told me was, as you said, get your education. No one can take it away from you once you get it.
Yeah.
And of course, the Bible says, in all you're getting, get an understanding. And so it's important that you understand the things that you learn, not just repeat without understanding.
Yeah, because there's something called knowledge and there's another word called understanding.
Yes,
And then the other word is called wisdom.
yes,
It's how you apply the knowledge because knowledge alone won't get you somewhere. I think we fool ourselves on that. Knowledge alone can't get you
So,
somewhere.
yes, you hit on three key words: information, knowledge, and wisdom.
Yeah.
Lots of people have lots of information, but they don't have a knowledge, they don't have experience with it, and they
No.
don't use it in a wise manner.
No.
They
So they're
don't
like,
make use of it in terms of wisdom.
yes. Yeah. So they have all of these things and no wisdom to back them up. Wisdom is is right here. Wisdom is right. Hello. Can you just use me? No, I want to learn more. Oh, I want to learn more. I want to learn more. No, you could learn until you die. But how you applying
Yes,
it? is the key.
That's the secret. That's the secret.
The secret, look, the secret sauce is right here called wisdom.
You're dropping lots of nuggets.
Get that secret sauce, honey. Get that secret sauce because it's right here. And the only way you can get that, because you can't go to school for wisdom. Wisdom is given to you when you seek God. Because wisdom is God. He's the wise God. And he said, if you need wisdom, come knocking on my door. Yeah. Yeah. So that's where we need to tap into that. Tap and align ourselves with the Creator so we can get a little bit of the wisdom source. So, Dr. Murphy, do you believe Black Americans will get over this kind of oppression? Because there's an
Yes, I
oppression
do.
on Black America. Do you believe so?
Yes, I do.
Okay. And and you agree that they can get over it. Now, what's keeping some Americans, some Black Americans, because we're on the topic of Black, what's keeping some Black Americans from moving forward?
Knowledge, wisdom, and thinking for ourselves.
Yeah. Listen, I listen, people. Here's my drink. Here is my drink. We drink to that. Oftentimes, what will happen when we are lacking these things, we don't enjoy life. We don't enjoy life. Why? Because we are holding ourselves back. Because we refuse to see that which we need. And we are holding ourselves back. And I oftentimes look at this to say, why would I want to hold myself back from all of these things that's presented to me? Why? Why would I want to hold myself back from what my foreparents did not get the opportunity to have? So why would I have that trail in me? Why would I want to do that? We need to stop it. Because when we continue to carry this burden of our ancestors and our past or foreparents, when we continue to carry this burden weighing us down, we are losing out. We are definitely losing out. I like to look at things this way, that when you look at slavery and we have this thing where we're stuck in slavery in such a way, it's not so much physically, but mentally. Mentally, we so stuck right there. And it was the great Bob Marley that says, emancipate yourself from mental slavery. No one can free you but yourself. He said this, and he said this way back in time. No one can free you but yourself. So where do you set your
Truer
mind?
words were never spoken.
How do you free
Say it.
yourself? Like, get out of it.
Yes.
It's not an easy thing to say, but we have to do this. We have to acknowledge that we are here now. Because I'm going to go back and use another analogy, Dr. Murphy. I'm going to use this analogy where if you continue to hold on to slavery, if you continue to hold on to the oppression, think about holding on to a calendar in your house from 1937. Think about looking at that calendar from 1937 and expect to accomplish something today in 2022. How do you expect to do that? Because now you're following the date on 1937 calendar and you're in 2022, it's not matching. So how do you plan to set your mind saying 1937? Oh, today is the 14th day of April. But it's not the same day. It's not the same day. So somewhere we got to break things off and we got to relearn. We got to relearn things and know that that
Yes.
calendar is not in existence. That calendar of slavery and racism and oppression and all of that. Ah, that did happen. That did happen. But guess what? I am in 2022. So what is it that I'm setting my mind on in 2022? Simple. People might say that sounds simple talk, but I'm just saying reality is God allow you to be here in 2022.
Yes.
Doesn't mean he got a purpose for you in 2022. And he allowed Dr. Murphy to be here for 76 chapters. So Dr. Murphy is telling us something from his parents and grandparents to educate you now.
Yes.
He's not going to go back there. He's just educating you now. So the generation
I'm
coming
giving
behind
you a
us,
foundation to
yes,
build on so that
yeah,
you can
because the
move
generation
forward
coming up, we having
and to
generation,
recognize.
we having generation coming up. And Dr.
Yes,
Murphy,
we
you know
do.
another book. Your another book is this book here. Let's talk about this book.
Reparation. The picture on
First of
that book
all,
is my mother.
oh, that's your
That is the
mom on the
picture of my
cover.
mother.
Okay. First of all, for those who don't know the meaning, tell us the meaning of that word. Reparation.
Reparation has three parts to it.
Mm-hmm.
One is for people in America to acknowledge, to come forth and say, we have done the black people in this country wrong. Just simply to say it, to acknowledge it. The second part of reparation is to redress, and that is to get permission from black people to say, I'm sorry for what I've done, and to ask their forgiveness. Another part of that is restitution, to repay people for the resources that's been taken away from them or denied to them. We have to understand that America has raped black people in this country and they need to be repaid. The other part of reparation is called closure, and that is to say that we as a country must remove all those barriers that forces one person to think that he or she is better than another one. And that is what reparation is all about. Some folks try to make it a very small issue and say, you just want me to give you a check. And that is not the case.
Right.
We're here to restore and build America so that it can be what it should be. It can be that light that sits on top of the hill and is a shining example for the world to see. If we, in fact, would make ourselves right again. So that's what my book, Reparation, is about.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are going to take a pause here and let me just breathe. And that's what we all need to do is to exhale. We all need to exhale. And like I said, you're going to see me do like this because I'm trying to write as much of these golden nuggets that you are dropping here. So, audience, if you're not writing, then you're missing out, okay? I am trying to go as fast as I can. I feel like every week I'm in a classroom that I'm taking notes. The professor is going, and I'm trying to take notes to make sure that I can read over my notes when the class is over. Now, there are three words. There are three words. I am sorry. That. I am sorry. Sound very easy. Roll off my tongue just as easy as it could be. Yet, Dr. Murphy, yet, it is the hardest thing for us to say. Yet.
But we need to say it.
But we need to
When
say
we have wronged somebody, we need to go to that individual and say to that individual, I am sorry I wronged you.
I'm sorry. If
I'm
we
sorry.
let that out, and because you see, when we do that, we are freeing ourselves.
Yes.
We are healing the land. We are calling down peace. And we are trying to eliminate all that chaos. But the oppression of that is just not allowing people to say, we are sorry. I'm a parent, and that was something I always enforced in my child. And we do this to our children all the time. But why is it that we grow up to be human beings and we find it so hard to say? Tell them you're sorry. Oh, you're sorry. And we teach, we force this in our children. Say you're sorry. Say you're sorry.
Yes.
But adults, ooh, we don't want to say it. But it was already embedded in you that you must say that you are sorry when you do somebody's wrong. So here we are, Black America, white America. Now, white America needs to say that they're sorry to Black America. Is that what you're saying?
Yes.
So now, if we call a group of white people right now, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 of them, put them in a room with 5 blacks, and those white people open their mouth and open their heart. So they're going to look at those blacks and they're going to say they're sorry. Will they say they're sorry?
They can and will, given the proper conversation. And that, again, is a reason for my book, to give you the words that you need to say, or the way in which you need to listen, to invite people to be able to say, I'm sorry. Sometimes it's not about what you say, it's about how you listen to people, how you care for people.
Yes.
How you reach out to them.
It's how you say it.
As a principal in a school,
Yeah.
there was times I had to go to a student and say to that student, I'm sorry for what I have done or what others have done to you.
Yes.
And like you say, it's liberating.
Yes. Yes. So, audience, we all must seek freedom. We all must seek freedom for ourselves first. Then we can welcome the freedom of others. We all must seek our healing for ourselves, because closure, we seek closure. So I want to throw this in there, Dr. Murphy, because I'm going to continue to say what I'm saying, but I'm going to throw this in there. Do you believe a lot of Black Americans right now are not enjoying their life because they're waiting for disclosure?
Yes, they are. They're waiting and not actively participating to liberate themselves. As you say, we need to know some things. We need to get out of our head, move into the 21st century, and liberate ourselves so we can then go and liberate others. We have to know that we are worthy.
Audience, I don't have a mic to drop, so I'm just going to just drop my pen. I'm just going to drop my pen right here. We have spoken and we are winding on this episode and we have spoken. Dr. Murphy have spoken. We dropped some nuggets here. If you missed them, you're going to have to just watch the replay. Because boy, oh boy. And if you weren't sipping your water, if you were just taking notes and you wasn't sipping your water like I was, then guess what's going to happen? You need to sip a lot of water after this because we dropped some stuff right here tonight. Please, people, please, I am asking you, Black Americans, because that's who we are addressing tonight. Your life is today. Your life is right now. Stop holding on to waiting for closure to enjoy your life. If you woke up this morning, this is your moment to enjoy your life. If you woke up this morning, if closure is coming, let it get hit. But please don't wait for that closure to enjoy your life because God forbid you close your eyes or you don't make it to 76 chapters like Dr. Murphy, then what is going to happen? You are going to make the grave richer because you're taking all your gifts and your talents, your potentials, and you're going to bury it. So I'm asking you, please, get out there and enjoy your life. If closure is knocking at your door,
Absolutely.
that's that. That's that.
You are so right.
So, audience, we are going to close tonight. On that note, we are going to close down this episode. So, Dr. Murphy, it has been a pleasure having you here. And I'd like to tell my guests this that on my left, right there, there's a chair. I call it my guest chair. And that guest chair will say that your name is stamped there because now you just grace us with your presence. And you grace us with your knowledge and your wisdom and your understanding, and you grace us with what we need right now. So that chair is saying that you are welcome here anytime that you want. Knock on the door, and I will just open the door and just welcome you back home. This is home for you. This is not just a space. This is home for you. So whenever you're ready to come back, please don't be shy. Just knock, and I just open the door and just like, come on back in, and just educate us some more.
Thank you.
So I like
I
to
feel
talk.
welcome. I
Yes,
feel blessed. And I
I
feel
always
heard.
like to. I always like to have a off question for my audience. It has nothing to do with your book or your work or what you have done in life. It's always one of those questions that's just like, yeah. So while I'm
Yes.
thinking about your question, um, audience, thank you for being here. All right. So your question
It,
gonna be, what do you do when you're by yourself? That's your question for tonight. That's your
that's
off
my
question.
question for tonight.
Yes.
Okay.
What do you
Well,
do
thank
when
you
you're
for
by
having
yourself?
me. I read and write and think and know that I am blessed.
So you give thanks. Yes. Read, write, sing. We're not even going to ask you to sing because we're closing on the episode, so that's okay. We that's the maybe we just learned little bit more about who Dr. Murphy is. So as we close out this episode, do you have a last word you want to tell the audience?
I would say, please continue to read and to study and to make yourself feel worthy of who you are. You are a blessed human being. Thank you for listening to me, and God bless you all.
An audience, and that's how we go and close. So I like to give a last word to my audience. Audience, here is the question for tonight. Are you free enough mentally? If you're not free enough mentally, then I ask you, please take this moment in time, this very moment that was given to you, to reevaluate yourself, reevaluate where you're sending your energy and how you want your energy to grow. Because wherever you send your energy, that's where your energy will grow. So I'm asking you, please redirect your thoughts, redirect your intention, and move forward. Nothing is guaranteed. Tomorrow is not guaranteed for you. The only thing that's guaranteed is this very moment that I am breathing and that you are breathing. So, what is it that you are going to create for this moment? We were all born to be co creators of God. So, God gave you an opportunity to create something. What is it that you are creating today? I want to bless you. I want to declare that you find peace. I want to declare that you find happiness, prosperity, success. But when you do find these things, don't forget that you need to stretch back and help someone to find just all of that the same way. We are all here to heal. We are all here to grow. So as I close out this episode, to you audience who will listen to me, remember, for you to heal, you got to survey yourself. Search yourself. Acknowledge your faults and your failures and all of your flaws. Accept them and know that yes, you, Cheryl, you are worthy. You are enough. You are that which you set your mind to. Set your mind to greatness because greatness is inside of you. Here is where I invite you to bring your story, your book, your work in progress, so we could grow together, so we could support together, so we could succeed together. Again, thank you for tuning in to the live show, and thank you for tuning in to the replay. If you will watch us on replay, hashtag replay. This is your host, Verona Willis-Brown, saying, hey, have yourself a great night, a great morning, just a great life. See you here next week, same time, same place. Bye for now.